Welcome back to another video from the next man up the debate room. We actually changed for about 3 or 4 episodes now, but sometimes it still makes me up. But before we get started, I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the podcast. We hit 500 subscribers like 3 days ago. I think it was in between episodes. Like last episode, we were like, yeah, we have 497. Let's get to 500, and then from that episode into the recording of this episode, we've gained more than 100 subscribers. Right now, I think we're sitting at 597. I haven't checked in a few hours. I usually check like literally every few hours. Like I'm always checking our subscriber count. Well, right now, let me check. We are still at 597. So I want to thank everybody for support. If you're a new subscriber, like the video for sure, and check out our episodes because we get a lot of views from our shorts, our TikToks, and our reels. But it's always like our episodes, our full episodes that lack the views. So just check out some of our episodes, see if you like the content, see if you want to stick around. As we continue to grow, more stuff will come. But I just wanted to say that before we get started. And obviously, our social medias need some more love too. So if you could follow our social media accounts, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna go to my two co-hosts today, Q and Max. Jaden is not feeling well, so he's not on the episode. But how y'all doing today, man? Y'all here?
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm doing okay.
What to say, bro?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so this episode is going to be obviously it's not a Sweet 16 prediction, but it's going to be basically a recap of the first 2 rounds of March Madness. We have a few days between games. I think the next game is on Thursday, so we wanted to get this out before those games happen. So first, we're going to start off with the most surprising upsets so far. It was a lot of them, a lot of upsets. My bracket was bust on the first day after the first few games. So give me you guys' most surprising upset so far from this tournament.
I mean, I think obviously it's Kentucky. I'm not gonna lie. I think obviously it's Kentucky, but then
Really?
I for me, but I'm like a big like talent person. Like I believe in talent, but I understand like college basketball not really the landscape where like talent wins it all the time. But I just felt like it was gonna be tough to that. Like I didn't expect them to go like past the Sweet 16, but I expected them to definitely make it out of round one, just strictly off talent. That didn't happen. So I think that's just the biggest upset.
I've been saying this. You could look at the last pod. Kentucky had a chance to get out first round. Was I putting money on it? Hell no. But Kentucky showed problems all year. Kentucky showed they can't defend all year, and that's ended up what killed them. Golke went off, shot 50% at 30 points, whatever, 33 points, something like that. Yeah, he killed him at the end of the day. So my most surprising upset was Auburn. I think for the most part, it was. I saw a couple people pick Yale. Whatever, different college basketball guys, whatever, different Instagram things. It's just like your normal thing where you have one person or two people pick them. Whatever, people will post all their. I don't know. Like the Instagram things where it's like they post their picks for every game. I saw like very few Yale people. But for me, I thought it was a much more surprising upset. Auburn was widely regarded as one of the most underseeded teams. Could have been pushing a 3, could have been pushing a 2 in some people's eyes. A real threat to Uconn, and they couldn't even handle Yale. So I know the one guy got ejected early part of the game. Late game, just Yale had 2 crazy shots, the 3 and the fadeaway in the corner. I don't know who it was, like number 5 was just he couldn't miss. So I think that was the most surprising upset for me. So
No, it was definitely Yale beating Auburn. That was the most surprising upset. I had
That's
Auburn
too
possibly. I'm not. Well, let me speak on Kentucky because obviously that's me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, was I mad they lost? Yes, but was it surprising? No. Like me and Max talked about this. We knew like this team could lose in the first round, or they could somehow find their way in the Final Four. It's like they were one of the most like dangerous teams.
Volatile, they're very volatile, and that's between John Calipari himself and them just being super like they're young. Like these type of tournaments and play like they're set for like older dudes. Like it's more seasoned. Like this is a veteran type of tournament. That's usually who wins these type of tournaments. But like just like you said, they're volatile. They either would have lost in the first round or made it all the way to the Final Four, but based on what? Straight talent. And I figured just the talent alone would just get them out of round one. Like that's all I was hoping for. But obviously, Yale being Auburn was like the biggest upset. But like Kentucky is that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't think it was gonna happen.
It definitely is ridiculous. It definitely is ridiculous, but I just can't say it's surprising because we've been one of the worst defenses in the nation the entire year. And this this tournament is not for freshmen. And basically our three best players, well, two of our three best players are freshmen. Antonio Reeves is obviously a senior, and he's obviously the best player on the college level. But Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham are two freshmen. They're a big part of the team, and obviously Antonio Reeves did his part. Like he's gonna do every single game, super consistent, a bucket. But Rob Dillingham, Reed Shepherd, their flaws showed in this game, and I think, like I said, I made a video on it on TikTok, did pretty well. If you are dropping that draft stock off one game, you obviously wasn't watching the entire season. All these like weaknesses showed the entire year. They weren't great guarding the ball at all. Like we were terrible guarding the ball. So was it surprising to me? No. And Robert Dillingham obviously getting up a three on the last possession. Like we've been doing it all year. Like he just falls asleep on defense. Like it's ridiculous. I don't know. People are calling for John Calipari's head. I just don't know. I don't know, man. Like when Coach Cal recruits, bro, he tells you he's going to get you to the NBA. He has a crazy history of doing it. Not only getting people to the NBA, but the guards and the wings, some of the centers actually being great players. So he can market that when he's recruiting players. Like, yeah, you're going to be able to come here, play exactly how you want to. We're going to be a good team too, relevant, and you're going to be in the NBA and play well. So calling for his head when he's owed $33 million this year, I don't know. And also the fact that he's been able to put together these great recruiting classes. Now I know the results have not been nearly as what it should be. 1-5 in the last 6 NCAA tournament games. Also haven't won a championship since what, 2012 or 2014? Like
2012. I think 2011. 2011.
No, 2012.
12, I think.
No, it's 2012.
With
2012
with AD.
2012 AD. Like we like the rosters, the players we had come through this program is insane. And for the results not to be there, it's kind of disappointing. But Cal has kept it 100 since he got here, bro. This is who he is. So y'all don't get mad at it now?
See, like it's just for me, Cal will not leave. They will not get Cal out of there. But Latif is a rare Kentucky fan who majority of his care and support for the team comes to the NBA level. Yes. Most of Big Blue Nation is about college success. And when they're not winning SEC championships, when they're not making Elite Eights and Final Fours that they were in the early 2010s, I think their fan base has something to get nervous about. Because a lot of their fans, sure, they love and support the players, but they don't really care if Devin Booker gets another MVP or if Shea gets a ring or something. They don't care about that. They're only worried about the college level and about what they're outputting as far as in March.
It's about what you care about from your college organization. Because college basketball, D1 college basketball, especially like big programs, the expectation is that these players are NBA players. So are you rooting for the team because they're like it's the team and that's where you're from and whatnot, or like you rooting for them because you like their NBA talent? Like I'm not gonna like I don't really care about a team that's been good for 4 years. They had, sophomores, juniors, seniors play all the time. And obviously, you're going to feel an attachment to those players and that team because they've been there. You've seen them for 2, 3 plus 4 years. Calipari is not – I'm not saying he's not worried about winning a championship, but he's an NBA factory, and that's just what it is. You can name probably like 3 good guys on NBA rosters right now per year coming out of that program, and they're quite successful. So do you care about those players' college success, or you care about what they are going to be in the NBA? Because the goal pretty much is to get to the NBA, and he's doing that at like a rapid rate. He has like some of the best NBA players in the league right now, like as a collective. Obviously, the one-offs here and there at certain different schools is different, but like Kentucky, that's you pretty much banking on them going to be good. Even the low-end Kentucky players like PJ Washington is still a good NBA player, compared to like everybody else. I'm not going to say I don't care. For me, I care about the talent that they put into the NBA. I don't really care about what they're doing in college because that doesn't really mean anything on the grander stage. And we really, not we, but like most people still want to watch basketball. Unless you only care about college basketball, it shouldn't matter that he doesn't win a chip every year because he's still putting out talent. Like that doesn't really like move the needle once you get to NBA. Like you winning a chip, it doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, and then obviously every school go into dry spells. Like this is common. Like even all the top teams, like Duke has made it far, but the last time they won the chip was, if I'm not mistaken, 2015. Am I
2015. 2015.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that because Duke and UNC have still been making their Final Four runs, have been in national championships, have been playing at that elite level for years, and it's been that way for a long time. Kentucky has early success.
UNC has like droughts a lot. I feel like personally, they have droughts. Like they made it 2 years ago? 2 years ago to the championship.
I think they've won one.
Yeah, lost.
Not many teams can say they've won one per decade. They won in 2009. They beat us. They beat us in 2009. They won in 2017 when they beat Gonzaga. They lost
2020
to Villanova.
2020 is a new decade, bro.
Okay, cool. So what? We have
you said
6 more years to win a championship?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying they have
you guys have won one. You guys have won the same amount of us in the last 20 years. So I don't know what we're talking about. But like it's not like a huge thing. UNC, Duke, they're like on a whole new level of like they're the blue bloods, but they're still the top of the blue bloods. You can almost throw Kansas in too because Kansas is putting on the same level.
They went 12 years without winning a championship before.
Yeah, this is not a. It's not like a. It's a common thing.
Why are we acting like that's like, huh?
It's a common thing. Like teams go on droughts, even the blue bloods. And I saw like Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins talking about it this morning on TikTok, and Rondo is basically, I guess, saying like if this is any other coach or any other team, they would be getting fired. Like saying that Cal didn't set the standard and Kentucky will be Kentucky without Cal. And I guess there's some validity to that because I mean I think Kentucky will still be a premium program even without Cal, but I don't know if they're going to still get the same amount of recruits, like the same level of recruits without Coach Cal. I don't know if that's be true. And then DeMarcus Cousins, that's his coach. He's obviously defending him. But I think firing Cal would be a mistake. I personally feel like from a monetary standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, are you going to still get the same recruits just because Kentucky's the brand? I don't know. I don't know. So that's my personal opinion.
I don't want to keep harping on, like, I don't want to keep talking about Kentucky, but and John Calipari, but again, if you're a 5-star recruit and you're trying to get to the NBA, you're just trying. Let's say you're a 6'4" guard and you're just trying to get to the NBA. Who are you going to go to? Kentucky.
I agree.
That's a guard factory.
But
the people that's going to Kentucky, they go to Kentucky for a reason. They're trying to get to the NBA. They're not trying to. I'm not trying to leave a legacy at Kentucky. That's not Kentucky right now. Is not the legacy leaving school. I'm trying to get to the NBA, and that's pretty much it. All the other schools, you got those. They want to be part of the legacy because 9 out of 10 they're going to be there for 2-3+ years. If you're going to Kentucky, you don't plan on staying there more than 1 year if you really like that. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if you win a chip or not. That's not going to really define you. You're really just trying to get to the next level, and I'm okay with that.
I agree with Rondo that with certain stuff he was saying like it's fine to have it one and done guys, but you got to get them to buy in, especially defensively. It's ridiculous how bad we were defensively throughout this entire season. So it may be that they're looking at the draft boards like too much, like Rob Reed. Like I don't really think Reed. Like I don't really think it's like the idea that they're like looking past Kentucky or nothing like that. But you got to get those guys to buy in. Like I just don't know. And then DJ Wagner was just a mistake. He was just a mistake. Like he was. I don't know any player that was rated like number 1 overall that looked as bad as he did this year. Like he was uninspiring. He was really uninspiring to me. Like just completely. I don't want to stand around, but
Kentucky is like the only school that is truly run by freshmen. And I get Reeves. Reeves is a transfer, right? Reeves is a transfer for 1 year. When you look at other top tier teams, whether it's Kansas, whether it's Houston, whether it's UNC, Duke, I can throw
they're
MSU,
run by guards
Kansas, Tennessee.
That been there.
But they're run by experience, and they can be transfer guys. But the transfer guys have been there for years. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Kansas has Hunter Dickinson there, but they got DeJuan Harris, who's got the championship under his belt. You got Kevin McCullough still there. Like Duke obviously still has Jeremy Roach, RJ Davis, Armando Bacot. But Latif, that's what I'm saying. This is why you guys want success in March. We know freshmen can't win it. You guys don't have anyone buying in for multiple years. The league is obviously the main goal. So if you get the league, great.
Exactly.
But as far as college success, you need to have 1 or 2 guys who Maybe you need more Tyler Ulises who stay around for 4 years and can lead teams. You need guys who are seniors and fifth years and juniors who are able to carry out teams with a bunch of freshmen. You need leaders.
That's where you got to temper your expectation, because if you know these guards are going to be 1-year guards, then don't expect them to really be leading the team into a tournament that's a one and done. And you need somebody that's going to really be out there and put it down for you all the time, because throughout the season, these guards on this specific team are going to be looking at the draft board. So they're going to be worried about that. Doing all that extra nonsense doesn't really do anything. Winning a national championship, I don't think boosts your draft stock that much higher, to be honest. Like, again, just one game compared to this whole, whatever how many game season is a lot more important.
I think some in some cases it can. I think Ochai, I think Jordan Hawkins, I think you have a couple guys in the past couple of years, Christian Brown, who I think their runs have increased their draft stock. But as a whole,
Ochai was going in the lottery. Ochai was going in the lottery regardless. I think Jared Culver was going in the lottery regardless.
I think you're lying to yourself though if you're not saying that their runs didn't help them.
He went like what 14th?
Yeah, it hasn't helped them out.
It depends. Certain teams are gonna get that. Like UConn's probably gonna get that buff because these are like they've seen them. They've seen them multiple times. They've seen them year after year. So it's like, all right, boom, we know what this is, and that's why those players get picked where they get picked at, and they either play enough, play a lot, or don't because they stayed longer. The dudes that you feel me that don't really care about that tournament, like those one-off, like the Kentucky players, they're gonna go high regardless because they just have the high ceiling. And they don't need to see much more in the tournament. That one game's not going to change a whole season. The NBA, the playoffs ain't a one game scenario, so they don't care what you do for one game. Locking in on one game doesn't change I don't think should change your draft stock because in the NBA you're gonna have to lock in for 7 games in a series. So I want to see what you can do throughout a set amount of games, not one game. Anything can happen in one game, so it doesn't really. You know what I'm saying? It's not football.
Understand, but I think the continuous performance of big moments, I think, can help too, though. Sorry, Latif.
No, I think, yeah. I mean, playing well down the stretch in the tournament, especially if you're like a freshman or a younger player, definitely help your draft stock. I think, but I don't think it should hurt you. I think the only thing the NCAA tournament should do is help you. Brandon Miller last year played terrible in the NCAA tournament and still went second overall. So I don't really know, but
I also think if he makes that run to a Final Four to a championship, I think the narrative about him and Scoot.
He's not going.
Scoot. Him and Scoot. I think the narrative before was him and Scoot. Oh, Scoot's better. And I think that narrative. I think Brandon Miller takes more of a step up. Yeah, I guess he's like above Wemby. That's crazy.
But I want to talk about Yale and Auburn because I feel like Auburn was a potential Final Four contender. Like their defense, their depth, their coaching. I love their offensive sets coming in. So they're a really tough team. And for them to give up that many points against Yale was shocking to me. I thought they were completely locked them down. And I had them going really, really far. So that was definitely the most surprising upset for me. Definitely didn't expect them to lose. Jamai Brown missed shots down the stretch. I don't expect him to miss. We talk about experience. He's been in college basketball for a long time. One of the better players this year. Probably going to be a second or third team All-American. So for him to play like that down the stretch really, really surprised me. So that was my more shocking upset for the first 2 rounds of March Madness. Let's talk about some players who stood out so far. I got mine, of course, but give me some players that stood out to y'all in the first 2 rounds of March Madness.
For me,
can I go first?
Player.
I don't know.
Oh, no, go ahead. If you got
no, you're good. You got it. I don't think you're gonna pick my guy.
Oh no, my guy is DJ Burns. From NC State. I don't really like those type of you feel me? I don't like those type of players. I don't like those type of bigs. I don't like those type of shots. But it moved me. And I was just watching the game, I was just watching the highlights back the other day. He was just putting up some nonsense. Obviously it wasn't nonsense if it keep going in, but he was doing the same thing over and over again. It's it looked at real Zebo-ish, real Julius Randle-ish, and I just like the way it moved. And the past 2 games, he's been averaging 20. So and on insane efficiencies. So he moved me. And I don't really watch NC State, but I just tuned in because I was just seeing him all throughout the season. I'm I might as well tune into a game, and he started going off.
A couple guys have just been going off on the offensive side. Obviously, I know Oregon's out, but Jermaine Couisnard scored like 70 in 2 games. That's disgusting. Mark Sear's been hooping. Obviously, Edie's been playing well. Just Purdue's been dominating. UConn as a whole has been dominating. I know we'll talk about that later. The competition obviously isn't as great for both those two teams, but Edie's just looked very good in the tournament. But my guy is going to be Cody Williams. Had the best plus minus in the game against Florida. Played really well. Had a couple big shots against Marquette. I was very impressed. I think that's one where when you look down the stretch, I get their tournament run is over. But I think in the draft, I would look at Cody Williams. He played big in 2 games. So both those games were very tight as well. And on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, plus minus, he looked great. Cody Williams is definitely one who stood out to me, especially as far as the draft process.
We'll talk about Cody Williams when we talk about more draft prospects. When they get closer to draft time. He had a really, really tough stretch come back from injury where he wasn't playing too well, especially I believe in the Pac-12 tournament. I don't know. His handle is just like I don't know his handle, his frame. I think he's gonna be really, really like raw coming into the league only a few years to be. I don't think he's gonna be like J-Dub. Like first year, he's like really, really good. Second year,
I agree. I think he'll need more time.
Yeah, and then J-Dub's frame was just better. It's a lot of stuff, but a player I really like watching so far in this tournament is Jared McCain, and I think in this draft he should be a lottery talent. He's a lottery talent. He should be a top 14 pick. I love he went to like the Wizards later in the first round, maybe the Pelicans. I would love to see him on the Pelicans. They need a point guard, but he's a great movement shooter. I think he's an off guard in the league. But I like his handle. I think it's better than what he's given credit for. I like his in-between game. I like his touch on the ball as a defender. He's pretty good. I don't think he's going to be like a star in the league, but he really, really reminds me of like a Malcolm Brogdon. Just a player that's going to be really, really good. Nothing too crazy. Going to be able to hold his own on defense, knock down a 3, create his own shot a little bit. So that's who he reminds me of in the NBA. And so him dropping 30 against James Madison, who I think a lot of people had going maybe to Sweet 16, knocking off a few teams. I obviously had him moving on in the first round for sure. I picked that game. And then against Duke, I think I saw some people picking him. So for him to drop 30, he had a few big games this entire season. I think he should be going on the lottery, especially in this draft class. And I like what he can possibly provide to the NBA team, maybe being a 6-man or a backup point guard in the NBA. So I like Jeremy McCain as a prospect and what he's been doing in the tournament so far. I had Duke going to my Final Four. I had Duke going to my championship game in the bracket before I changed it. We got to see the company to get past Houston. That's a really tall task, especially with how they've been playing, and then the resiliency they show against Texas A&M. So I don't know if they went to like the Final Four. I wouldn't be surprised, but Jeremy McCain is a big part of that, and he's one of those freshmen that, despite being a freshman, he's been playing well in the tournament. And people were talking crazy about him coming into the season, saying he's a TikTok basketball player, pointing out stuff about his nail color and all that, saying he's zesty. And he's proven them people wrong the entire season, being really efficient, been a great player for Duke, being one of their best perimeter defenders. So, I always like seeing people, abolish narratives. That's my player. Obviously, Zach Edey and, Zach. We're going to talk about Zach Edey later.
I think every 1 seed, like that's why I think, again, we'll talk about it later, but that's why I guess I still think UConn is going to win this, because every 1 seed is like seems to be led by their guy, right? Jamal Shed, you got Zach Edey, you got RJ Davis. UConn still looks like a complete just unit of a team. Everybody's scoring, everybody's hooping. But again, I picked UConn, but the fact of like repeat winners just never happening still makes me nervous and think someone else is going to win. But the fact that they have so many different guys who can score and who can defend, like, it's tough. It's tough. And I think they have a decently easy path to the championship as well.
Let's talk about the ACC dominance so far in this tournament. Has really shocked everybody, especially in comparison to like a conference like the SEC, who has been terrible. And the SEC was one of the better conferences in college basketball this season. So for them to be that bad through the first 2 rounds is shocking. And then in the inverse, the ACC being this good when they were appears to be one of the worst conferences as far as the Power 5 conference. What team do you think will make it the furthest out of the ACC? And don't I mean you can use UNC, but I mean be creative, man.
What do you mean? Like you asked the question. It's obviously UNC. It's not even. It's like UNC is the easiest
Honestly,
path to making a championship. They have the easiest path. They have the easiest path, and that's like you can't deny that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Alabama has been streaky all year and they can't defend. UNC is a very consistent team. Cool. You got to play Arizona, but you're already in the Elite Eight. Duke needs to beat Houston, one of the top 2-3 teams in the country, which you could do. Don't get me wrong. And then NC State will have to beat Marquette and/or Houston or Duke, and Clemson's going to have to beat Arizona and/or UNC or Bama. So I honestly think when you look at it, UNC is the best path because I just think that Alabama is the easiest first matchup, and I think the other 3 teams are tough matchups.
Sometimes when it's easy, it's probably easy for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like that's just the answer. And USC is the answer. Like you just laid out. It's gonna have to be there's a lot of other hoops and hurdles that you got to get through for other teams to make it farther. UNC, you might as well just rock with them. They've been doing this. They're pretty much a stable, like around this round of the tournament. So you might as well just rock with them and go with them until they prove you otherwise. And out like this might be a year where like another team might show you up, but like being Houston, again, not the easiest thing to do. It can be done. Marquette, I don't think like you're gonna be able to get past them, not this round. Alabama's cool, but they're not gonna beat UNC. I don't think they beat UNC. So you might as well just rock UNC. They're gonna go the farthest. And I had them going to the Final Four anyway.
Duke's too.
I forgot
Duke's second easiest.
I mean, are they really second easiest when they have Houston in their way? Like, are they really
exactly
second
what I said. They already have to go through basically the best team. This Houston been the best team all year. You know what I'm saying?
I think the second match. I think after that it's the easiest for them because I'm cool playing NC State or Marquette. I don't care. Clemson has to go beat Arizona and then go beat UNC or Alabama. NC State has to beat Marquette and then go beat Duke or Houston. Duke's got to beat Houston and get out.
That's true. I like your thinking there. Let me look at NC State's path real quick again. Let me look at their path.
Marquette and then Houston.
They start out with Marquette, bro.
I understand that, but you mean Duke started out with Houston, so I mean, and then after that,
respect the ACC. I think they arguably have more teams. I think not arguably. I think they do. They have more teams than the best conference in college basketball this year, the Big 12. So ACC got a lot of hate. I know I hated on them for a while. We saw that with Virginia. I mean, you could just look at it. Very, very mid in conference play. Obviously, Pitt was a bubble team. Wake Forest a bubble team getting into the tournament. But there's a lot of bad teams.
This is like where the ACC really be doing a lot of like their work. Like they usually like somebody from there. Like they always do good. Like Virginia, they won a championship. Like when they won a championship a couple years ago. Like this not a
I'm not gonna lie. Virginia's a fluky team because what have they done besides win that championship? Not much. Nothing. They won a championship. I agree. It like this conference is like it is the epitome of getting carried by your top 2 teams, like UNC and Duke. Their history alone carries the entire ACC. But I agree. Like Miami last year played really well. Virginia obviously making it. Like they had Maryland win one in the early 2000s when they were part of the ACC. Like you do have some help. Obviously building up your resume.
I agree. It probably has to be UNC. We could debate who is second after that, but we're gonna get to it later. We're predicting a Sweet 16, but Alabama defense is so bad. Like, it's incredibly bad, like worse than Kentucky. That I just don't feel like I don't see a way that UNC, unless it just turns to a shootout. But I think highly of UNC's defense potential against this team. So I would say it's UNC, and I don't have to make it to the Final Four. I think I got Arizona ahead of them, I believe, but it probably should beat them. But it's completely surprising the ACC turning out the way it did. But could we really be surprised with NC State won the tournament? So they're bound to have a few good teams so far in this tournament. Obviously, NC State got some upsets, but their second round matchup with Oakland. That was
blessing.
Oakland is that was a blessing for them because Oakland won. So I don't know, man. ACC, they're tricky every year. I think it's last year was deeper though, right? Last year, like in conference play, it was deeper. Like Duke and
But
UNC.
The ACC for a couple years. I know 2 years ago, I think Virginia Tech won the ACC championship. I think last year maybe Duke won it. But you've had a couple runs. I feel like other conferences don't always see that. I know Virginia Tech beat Duke like a year or two ago to win that ACC championship, and then obviously this year you have an 11 seed win it all. So
yeah, the whole conference was good last year. Like in terms of like conference play.
I was about to say last year they feel like they were Duke. Yeah, Duke struggled last year. Like they were losing games to teams that we thought they shouldn't lose to. And I remember because Jordan was covering them. I will always see that. I think they lost
they also dealt with
Miami.
They dealt with injuries though, and Miami was a good team though. But they dealt with injuries last year.
All right, let's move on to UConn and Purdue dominance. They've been dominant through the first 2 rounds, blowing every single team out that they face. I think what Purdue played Northwestern, and bro, they held Boo Buie to like
Purdue played Utah State. UConn played Northwestern.
Oh, UConn played Northwestern. Yeah, UConn held Boo Buie, it's like 9 points or something like that on like 215. It might have been less than that. He was struggling really, really bad, and they look like UConn just looks like the team to win. They just do. Like honestly, if it's not UConn or Purdue right now, I would be surprised because obviously Houston went into overtime with Texas A&M, but like UConn just feels like a super, super complete team defensively. Offensively, they're deep, they're coached well, they're experienced, they were here last year. So it's like, I don't see a team like, are you taking UConn and Purdue or the field in this tournament with 16 teams left?
You take UConn and Purdue. You take UConn and Purdue. UConn is like, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, first of all, I know I just said this. We got to take these games with a grain of salt. Northwestern, I understood, beat Purdue earlier in the year. Northwestern is a shell of its former self. It has 2 huge injuries in the front court, and they've been playing small ball all year. And that can get you past FAU, but it's not getting you past UConn. Okay?
I mean,
Purdue,
they took care of business.
I'm just saying, against a 16 seed, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. Sick. Both of them. The 9 seeds, yes, they both handle business. But I think Texas A&M is the hardest team that a number 1 seed had to play. Yes, Michigan State was not that tough of a team, obviously, that we saw. Texas A&M was toughest game. Houston got dealt the toughest challenge, obviously, with their players going out too. This is the round for me where I will like look at them more. I think UConn kills San Diego State. I think Gonzaga keeps it close with Purdue. So again, like I still think UConn is the team to beat. And looking forward, if Illinois wins, I think they don't have the defense to keep up with UConn. And I don't know if Iowa State has the offense to keep up with UConn. But as far as taking everyone else, like I think just based off stats, I'm gonna take the field. I know I keep saying UConn, but I'm gonna take the other 14 teams over the other 2. Purdue is Purdue, and I think they're really good this year. And this year feels different, but they're still Purdue, and they still have Zach Edey and Chris Painter. So I think they're gonna fumble it somewhere along the way. Sorry, Matt Painter. I can't even think of his name. They're gonna fumble it somewhere along the way. They're going to fumble, especially if you play Creighton and Tennessee are sneaky. Kalkbrenner and Edey, good matchup, and you got the high offensive superpower of Tennessee. So those 2 are going to be close games. But I honestly, UConn is one I'd be scared of. I think Purdue fumbles it some way, somehow. But again, there are a lot of other good teams. UNC, Arizona, Houston, Marquette. I know I hate on them, but they're still a good basketball team. Creighton, Tennessee, Iowa State, Illinois. There are good teams. And it just takes one bad game to knock them both out.
Won't Creighton be seeing UConn though? Am I not mistaken?
No, Iowa State. It's Iowa State, Illinois. We'll see the winner of UConn, San Diego State. Tennessee and Creighton. We'll see the winner of Purdue and Gonzaga.
Let me look on this bracket. So Creighton, we'll see Purdue and Gonzaga. Right? Okay, cool. Yeah, Creighton is a sneaky team. I feel like they can win the whole thing. Like Creighton is
Trigger Trey.
Yeah.
Trigger Trey.
He been all right. He been good. He been good. They just have I like the guard play. The guard play.
Like, bro,
they got a body to throw at Zach Edey, which is the most important thing. And I think they're a really well-rounded team, really deep team. I'm gonna take UConn and Purdue though. I'm not gonna lie. I think this might potentially be the national championship matchup. So or can it not be? Or am I tripping?
No, it can be. I'm about to say again, I'm just like, I think Purdue has a chance.
He's on another level. He's on another level, bro.
But he's not. Look at the comp.
I don't think they make it out this round, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think
Purdue.
No, I think I got him in my Elite Eight. I got him falling to Kalkbrenner and Creighton.
Purdue not losing to Gonzaga. I'm not gonna lie. They're not losing to
Listen,
Gonzaga.
I've been fading. You seen on my I don't know if you seen my bracket. I was fading Purdue since round 1. I just don't care, bro. I just don't care. It does not move me. You can average 25 all you want. I just don't think that works. Like, I just don't think it works. Not in this setting right here. Like, I just don't think it works. This is one of those settings where, like, you need multiple people. Like, if you need multiple people that could be able to go get you a real bucket. You know what I'm saying? Uconn got, like, 5 dudes I know for a fact could go get me a bucket. Like, the drop off from
Purdue
Edie to the next dude is, like, ridiculous, bro.
Okay, hold on. No, let's calm down. Braden Smith and Foster Loyer have both been good this year. But at the end of the day, it falls.
He cool.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's pretty damn good. He's
cool.
He's a good college guard. He's improved.
He improved a lot. He improved last year. He improved a lot from last year for sure.
I like that he can shoot. It's cool.
I'm just saying, it falls on their shoulders. It falls on their shoulders. Edie's gonna get 20 and 10. Who cares? I don't care. 30 and 10.
Exactly.
It falls on Loyer and Braden Smith. They need to pick up the pace and score 20 of their own, get 5-7 assists. They need to hoop in other ways. Because again, you can account for Edie getting 30 and 10, but if you can outscore them, if you can guard the 3-point line, Purdue's done.
They're not losing to Gonzaga, bro. I can't see it. Like, they have the player personnel in Gonzaga is not scaring me. It's still Mark Few is a good coach though.
Nah, look, it had nothing to do with Gonzaga. I kid you not. Gonzaga's not even a good team to me. Again, I was having them losing in the first round, so it didn't matter who they was like gonna face. Like, I just didn't think they were gonna win. Eventually, I'm gonna be right if I keep fading them. You know what I'm saying? That's just the rationale.
Or they could win the whole thing. Then you're wrong.
Do we honestly think that's happening? Think that's happening?
I don't.
All right, then. What are we doing?
Wait, what do you mean you're fading them? Q, you picked them.
No, I didn't.
You picked them to be in your Elite Eight. Am I tweaking?
I did.
They're literally in your Elite Eight.
It must have been another one. It was another one.
You got Purdue beating Grambling, Purdue beating Utah State, and Purdue losing to Gonzaga.
Oh yeah, I did that. That's the one for us. I remember I was doing that for somebody else. I probably did that, but same thing still apply. I probably was using some common sense in like an odd little one, but I really wasn't. Wasn't rocking with them. Come on, dog. I seen them.
Yeah, I don't know. Gonzaga didn't even win their conference, so I don't know. I just can't trust them throughout their entire year. They obviously handle business so far, but I don't think they have some bodies to throw at Edie. Well enough, I guess. They got to do from what's his name? Braden Huff. Not Braden Huff. Am I tripping? That dude from Glenbard West. He was from out here. He literally from out here.
I don't know. I know they got Dusty Stromers on that team.
Oh, they do got Dusty Stromer. They got I think they got this dude from Illinois. He's a freshman.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but so I might be rooting for him. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna win. Let's move on. Oh, actually, I want to ask you this because I've been seeing this a decent amount on Twitter, especially when Edie was dominating. In this draft class, as weak as it's perceived to be, do you think Zach Edey should be a first-round pick, and do you think he has a role in the NBA?
Should he be a first-round pick
in this draft class? In this draft
class, he could definitely become a first-round pick. Should he? I don't know. I don't think his play, like him as a player, should be a player that should be drafted in the NBA or like play in the NBA. But he could definitely get drafted. His role, I don't know. Maybe like he would probably do what Nurkic do, but probably for like 12 minutes a game. He's not gonna be able to play that much. He probably not gonna be able to get on the floor, bro. No cap. Like it's just not like it's not there no more. His style of play is suitable for like this type of environment or like international play, like he plays for the Olympic team, like that type of style of, like he's great in that type of environment, and that's just what it is. The NBA is not that type of environment for him to really prosper. Maybe things can change. I don't know. Things change, things happen all the time. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw mock draft him going 15, so I don't even know what to think anymore. I think he honestly could. I think some team might take a shot at him. I don't think he deserves to be a first-round pick right now. Great college player. Can't put anything against him. I still think he has little to no talent besides his height, but that can be just me just hating. That's fine. He's literally just 7'5", 7'6". But yeah, I mean, you can see it in these games. He's playing 48 minutes, gassed, and that's with him just going. So if you get a big to stretch him out of the 3-point line, if you give him a big who can dribble or pass like Cat, Jokic, I get you talking about all-time bigs, but give him a big who can shoot like Brook Lopez and just pulls him on the outside, he's going to be running so much more. Yeah, I don't know. I think Euroball is a good point. Just playing close and around the rim. Yeah, I don't know. Someone's going to take a shot at him. I just think it should be the second round.
I would tend to agree. I think, especially in a lottery, you need to be drafting for upside, and Zach Edey has no upside for me. He's older. He's slow-footed. He can't shoot. He's a fine passer, but it's like he doesn't have a lot of skill for me, and I think his potential, his peak literally would be a backup center. Like literally a backup center will be his peak. He's not going to be a starting center. I've been seeing him getting comparisons to Jonas Valanciunas. I think that's disrespectful for Jonas Valanciunas. That's crazy. But like, let's say this is 2001, bro. He would have been the first overall pick. Like real talk.
Listen. Jahlil Okafor came into the league literally 3 years too early. 3 years too late, or 4 years too late. If Jahlil Okafor at the time could not like really last until like those last 2 years on like the Pelicans when he started shooting a little bit more and whatnot. But if Jahlil Okafor couldn't last, nobody else can last. And Jahlil Okafor is way more talented than Zach Edey. You know what I'm saying? He's not a mover. He's gonna, like you said, he's gonna get gas. He's gonna be having to cover more space. He's not gonna be able to handle it. The chance for injury is there because he's just much bigger and it's more like strain on the body. His best role is doing that, sitting in the high key, high post, whatnot, for 35 possessions a game and making the game slow, and that type of play style only works in overseas basketball as of right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He would have, like, in 2001, bro. He would have been like, Yao Ming, I'm not no troll. Like that's what he would have been like. I saw
Yao
comparison.
Ming, I'm sorry. Yao Ming actually has skill. Yao Ming has.
Yeah, I mean, he did
shoot an outside shot. He had footwork.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I don't know. I saw a comparison to Yao Ming earlier. I mean, I think that's probably both because they like.
That's racist.
That is. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, I mean, hopefully he can get it done because if you're gonna be a college player, you need to win a championship. But 15, like who has 15 pick right now? I know New Orleans has 14.
Us.
Who was us?
Around there. The Thunder are around there, I think.
No, y'all don't.
Late round.
No,
late. I think we have a late first rounder.
No, y'all don't.
Like 90% we have a late first rounder.
No, y'all don't. Both of y'all picks are in the first round. I do mock drafts every day.
As of right now,
what?
Miami got it.
Yeah, both of y'all picks are lottery picks.
Are lottery picks?
Yes, they're like 9 and 10,
okay,
or like
cool.
10 and 11.
Yeah, Miami got 15 right now.
There.
Yeah, they don't need him, bro. I'm sorry.
They got. It's cased.
Yeah, 11. They got us drafting a big, anyways.
Yeah, Donovan McClingan, hopefully, or Kyle Flipowski.
It's a Khalil Ware.
That's too hot for him. I love Khalil Ware, but anyways, different subject. Let's get into our Sweep 16 predictions. So I'm gonna start with the first game. Alabama versus UNC. Who wins?
North Carolina.
UNC. Oh yeah. UNC.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's convincing. I don't think it's like a convincing win start to finish, but I think they still win.
I agree. UNC. I think they just way more balanced. Way more balanced. Like Alabama can't guard anyone at all. I think they're like 348th as far as points per game or defensive efficiency. It's ridiculous. But they're obviously like the best offense in the entire country. Leading the country in scoring. But yeah, they are. Let me look. 348th in the nation in points per game, allowing 80 points per game. So they're going to give you 90 points per game, but they're also going to allow 80. And so I think UNC is on the roll, and I think they're more balanced. They have more experience, so I'm going to go with UNC in this game. Next game up, Illinois versus Iowa State. Now, I think it's going to be one of the best games of the Sweet 16. There's a few more games like this, but who you guys going with, Illinois or Iowa State?
I'll say a hot take. I don't think this will be a good game. I think Iowa State handles them on defense, and I'll take Iowa State.
I'm not going around. I'm going to go Illinois. I like their offense a lot. They obviously, Iowa State has a great defense, but this is going to be a great game. It might not be like as high scoring, but Terry Shannon Jr. I believe in him. What he's been doing.
I was about to say this. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I believe in him, bro. I believe in him. I'm sorry. I'm not no crazy Illinois fan or like that, but I think this team could definitely go to the Elite Eight. They've been great all season. I think Iowa State could have possibly been a 1 seed. People were campaigning for that. Obviously blew out Houston in a Big 12 tournament. They're a great team. I'm gonna go with Illinois though. I think that their offense is hard to be stopped.
I think
Illinois just got awful defensively. They're not just got awful defensively. They're not just got awful.
But I'm saying they're going to live and die by their offense, and it's the same with Alabama. Not as bad, don't get me wrong. But I simply do not see Illinois coasting or whatever, riding that all the way to the championship. So I think they stop somewhere, and I think they stop at Iowa State.
You right in that sentiment. Like you right to say that. You right to pick Iowa. Like he just said, Terrence Jr. I love bro, and like you were saying earlier. Like, I don't believe that, tournaments, like the tournaments are like a big draft stock riser for players. His stock is already rise. I think, like, him specifically going farther is going to rise a lot more because he's older. So, like, you already know, like, top of the draft, you usually don't want to pick the 21, 22, 23-year-old. He can probably play himself, like, 3-4 spots up than where he's supposed to be. And bro's nice. Bro's a bucket. I ain't going to lie.
This is one of those games where it's like, elite offense versus elite defense, and obviously Iowa State is only allowing 61 points per game, which is crazy. But I feel like sometimes in these situations, offense just wins. Like obviously, offense, is going to obviously be elite offense is going to be elite defense. Now, my bad. Let me find where Iowa State ranks as a offense because I don't think it's that great, at all. Actually,
no, but their defense is sound. Very sound.
I mean, so Illinois' offense is sound. I mean, they were playing well even when Terrence Shannon Jr. was going through what he was going through. And as far as the draft stock, he's definitely a first-round pick in his draft as long as that gets cleared up. So I'm looking for Iowa State. I'm like at 170 something right now. That's how I slipped them. That's just as far as point per game.
I've seen Illinois play where their offense is not firing on all cylinders and they lost. So I've seen them play like that, and I do think Iowa State can Michigan State.
What you
mean to say?
That's Tom Izzo, and that's the regular season as well. So
Iowa State. I mean, I think Iowa State had a better defense than Tom Izzo did this year.
No, for sure they did. They had their fourth rate defense. I'm literally like trying to scroll down the rankings and see where their offense is ranked right now because I really can't find it. Like. If it's that bad, this is going to be a close game. I don't know why you think this is going to be like a blowout. I mean, obviously they blew out Houston, but I think that was just like a bad night for them.
I just think when Illinois goes out, I think they go out because their offense is not firing. I would say that offensive game.
I would say it's a 97th ranked offense as far as point per game. So I mean, they're not terrible. That's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think teams are. I honestly don't think you beat Illinois in a shootout. I think Illinois beats a lot of teams in a shootout. Right? They are a very good offensive team, and they have a lot of guys who can hit shots. So I think if Illinois goes out of this tournament, I think it's just because of a failure on offense. Terrence Shannon goes 6 for 23, and they shoot sub 30 from the three. Like I think that's how they go out. They just can't buy a bucket.
I think both of these teams are pretty balanced, to be honest. Like it's like the inverse for Illinois, as their defense is not like it can get stops. It's not like elite or anything like that, not even close. And I don't think Iowa State offense is elite in any stretch of the imagination either, though. So I think it's going to be a really balanced game. I don't think it's going to go like one-sided at all. Let's move next to Clemson versus Arizona. I think this is a game sneaky. Clemson, if Clemson win this game, I don't know how surprised I would be, honestly. Like, I just think they might be able to get it done. Like they have a very, very sound team, and they've made it further than what people expected. But who do you guys have in this Clemson versus Arizona game?
Arizona. Yeah, I know what you said. Like Clemson's a good all around team. Arizona's just better.
On the last pod, I said Clemson had Sweet 16 potential. Just want to put that out there.
You said Final Four. You said Final Four. Actually,
you said you said Final
Four. You want to clear that up. Rewatch the clip that I sent because I said not Final Four, but Sweet 16. You can rewatch the clip that I sent in the group chat. So you should actually finish it before you have these takes.
I saw it. I watched the video. You said Clemson got all the way to Final Four, and I was like, nah, Sweet 16. Bro,
I did not say Final Four.
It's literally in the chat. It's literally in the chat.
Yep.
We can look at it, bro.
Let's go back to it.
It's literally in the chat. Okay, we can go back to
Anyways,
it.
I got Arizona. I think Arizona, guard wise, you need good guards in March.
Hold on. Yeah, they do.
I'll pull it up.
Caleb.
My bad. Go ahead. Oh, can you hear it?
No. Auburn, they've outmuscled them a lot. I know this team has fallen off the past couple of weeks, especially since the start of the year. But give me Clemson. I think PJ Hall having a great year this year. They have experience on their team. I think they can win a couple games.
Final Four is
I didn't really mean Final Four. I think to make a run. I think obviously second best team is North Carolina. Yeah.
Well, you agree with Sweet 16 after I said it. That's my whole point. Right?
Thank you. I said a couple games they can make a run. I would not say Clemson is a Final Four caliber team right now because I still think they need more elite guard play. PJ Hall is playing well, but I think Arizona overall is much more balanced.
They are bouncing.
It's a reunion. It's going to be Caleb Love versus UNC. Everyone wants it. They rigged it to do this. That's what it's going to be.
Rigged it is crazy, but that would definitely be. That would definitely be.
I used to like, bro. I did not used to like Caleb Love. It was. I don't know.
I still don't like him.
Oh,
I still
don't worry.
like him.
Latif still says RJ Davis and Caleb Love don't move him. So
they don't. RJ Davis more. RJ Davis is I think better than Caleb Love, but so as far as moving,
he don't move me either.
I think the entire country would agree with you. That's not a hot take at all.
Why do everything you gotta say gotta be a hot take? That's my point. I just don't get that.
Because at the start of the year, I said, "Damn, RJ Davis is hooping. He had like 35 straight games. RJ Davis isn't that good. He doesn't move me that much." We can pull the text.
It's really
and RJ Davis is.
It's really for me. It's Caleb Love performance last year. It was very lackluster to me. UNC as a whole was supposed to be one of the better teams in the nation, and they had to go into NIT and declined that. So yes, I'm sorry if they don't move me. That's what I was basing it off of.
But I'm just saying you were basing on it and you were wrong, and that's okay. That's okay. Everyone is wrong.
Let's move on.
But just let the season play out.
I'm taking Arizona too, though. They have I always say guard play. I think they have 3 good guards. I like Kylan Boswell too. Balanced team. Pele Larson is a great player. So they have the experience, they have the coaching, they have the guard play. I think they move on. San Diego State versus UConn. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is gonna be a blowout. I think UConn is gonna whoop them.
UConn, 100%. UConn by 40. No, I'm kidding. But
I like we didn't talk about Jaden Latif, and our players have been standing out, but he's been hooping. He had 32 points, and then he had 26 points in the second game. But their offense is just not good enough to go against this UConn defense. UConn is one of the best defensive teams in the entire country. They're one of the best rebounding teams in the entire country. So, they held Northwestern to 37% shooting. I know it's Northwestern. Held Bowie to 215, 9 points. Donovan Clingan had 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 blocks. He should be a top 10 pick in this draft class. He's going to be a good center option. If he goes to OKC, love that for him. A good passer, a good rim protector. He's mobile. Great size, 7'2", and hopefully he can develop some type of outside shot to stay on the court longer. But yeah, they're 8th in defensive efficiency, 17th in scoring. So they're elite offense, elite defense, elite rebounding team. This is gonna be a blowout. So I got UConn too. NC State versus Marquette. Does DJ Burns magic run out in this round?
I think
it's over. It's over with. It's over with.
I'm giving him a shot. Again, it's partially because of my Marquette hate. I still think Marquette's a fake team. Cam Jones got in foul trouble last game, but he's playing good when he wasn't, obviously. It's guards versus bigs again. So I'll go with Marquette because they have much experience guard play. They're just a better team overall. But NC State's shocked me this entire year, so why not do it again?
Marquette, like I wasn't a big watcher of Marquette, but like I know they're a good team. And like you said, it's guard play. I'm going with Tyler all the way, like over anybody on NC State. So like that's just enough to move me. And like I said, I don't really like that big type of play style. Like I don't like the Zebo, Julius Randle type play style. I don't like that. It only gets you so far, and like it's cool.
But in college, it works.
Until it doesn't. Like those type of moves that get you tired fast. Big bodies like that, like you're gonna get tired fast. You might get gassed. This tournament, as it goes on, that's the more tired you're gonna be. This is around the time where things like that start to fizzle out, and guards gonna play forever. Like they're gonna run up and down. They're gonna shoot them out the gym. I feel like that's exactly how this game is gonna go.
I think this is gonna be one of the worst games for DJ Burns. I think also from Marquette can guard him. He's a really good defender. So I think they have the guard play obviously, but I think they have the size to deal with DJ Burns and the inside as well. So I'm gonna go Marquette. I think it might be blowout. Honestly, I think it might be blowout. I think NC State has punched above their weight for long enough, and this game might get nasty. A lot of games last week with blowouts too, and I think it might repeat this time as well. Duke versus Houston. Who you guys got in this game?
It's just gonna be Houston. There's a punch, it's more than a puncher's chance for Duke. I'm not gonna say it's a puncher's. It's a more than a puncher's chance, but it should be Houston. They've been better all season. This is around the time, like I think Houston should be in the Final Four, but like, nobody should be surprised if Duke, like not too surprised if Duke ends up winning because they still have the talent too and the coaching to get there. I just don't think like it's this year. I think Houston deserves to move on. They will move on. This would have been looking like since like 3 months ago. So.
I saw a stat where it's like Duke's 0-5 or 0-6 in the past couple of matchups versus higher ranked seeds than them. Not a great stat, obviously. Duke has a great combo, obviously, of young and old guys. But like Purdue, I think this Houston team feels different. Every year, I think they're in the same boat as Purdue, putting a 1 or 2 seed, projected to make a run. I think this year, though, getting put in the Big 12 and having to run through the gauntlet they had to run through, I just think they're a better team. They're more experienced. I think Kelvin Sampson's determined to win this. Jamal Sheed's determined to win this. Like, I think they are at every aspect. They're just such a good defensive team, too. And I know that Duke got hot and shot really well against JMU, McCann specifically. But I don't know. I think Houston, after that A&M game, I would be shocked if Houston does not come out of this game just firing on all cylinders.
Now, I had to agree with Q. I actually had Duke again in my national championship and on my brackets before I changed it. I had them beating Houston in my brackets. And so I'm going to stick with that, honestly. Now, in my official bracket, I have Houston winning because we're talking about what I think, like most logically, what I'm saying? I'm trying to win money. So, yes, I'm picking Houston. But Duke can beat Houston, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, Duke is one of the most balanced teams. They're one of the most balanced teams in the entire country.
They could definitely win, but I just think Houston's better.
I think Duke is one of the most balanced teams in the country. They have, if Tyrese Proctor shows up, they have the guard play. Jared McCain has been really solid. They're going to need Cal to be really, really big. Pause. In his game, play really, really well. And he's been playing.
No Diddy.
He's playing good in the tournament. He's playing good. So I think they're really balanced on both sides of the ball. They have a good enough defense. They have a good enough offense. And I think I really, really, really worry about Houston's scores outside of Jamal Shead. They have LJ Cryer. They have a few other pieces. But on a consistent basis, I think if teams are able to neutralize Jamal Shead, like he didn't have his best game last game against Texas A&M, and it was close. If teams are able to neutralize him, then I think they have a chance for sure. Obviously, have elite defense, but again, I think Duke has balanced enough scoring where they can do well against the defense. If they try to take Cal away, Jared McCain can get hot. Tyrese Proctor has had some big games over the course of the last few months. Mark Mitchell is, Jeremy Roach is an experienced point guard, 4-year. It's his time to get it done. I'm picking Duke in this game to get to the Elite 8. I'm picking Duke to make it to the Final Four this year. I am. So that's my upset of the Sweet 16. I got Duke beating Houston. And And now we move on to Gonzaga versus Purdue. I think you said Purdue was losing in this round. I don't know how, but I mean, go ahead.
If we being logical, obviously Purdue makes it out the round. Obviously. But for my own preference, I don't want to see it because for the simple reason why, based off these silly mocks, the further Purdue goes on, the further somebody gonna say, yeah, Zach Edey should be a first round pick, bro. Let's cut that out right now. Let's just like nip it in the bud. For the college basketball landscape, Purdue winning the whole thing would mean a lot because you had the player of the year like 8 times in a row. You feel me? Like all the awards, and for them to not bring nothing home would be somewhat hit on college basketball and wanting to stay. But it's like that just don't work, and that's why I'm just not a Purdue dude. Like I wasn't one last year. I'm not this year. Like it's just a certain type of thing that I like to watch, and that's not what it is. I don't think that's a winning formula. But again, I'm wrong. This is one-off scenarios, and anything can happen.
I'm with Q. I'd love to see him lose. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's this round. I think Gonzaga had a great win last game against Kansas, dominating them. But Kansas is a beat-up team, and we know that. And Hunter Dickinson can't play defense, and we know that too. So I think both those kind of showed it wasn't just a complete dominant win. It was just a bad matchup. I think Purdue matched up much better, obviously, with them. And yeah, let's take Purdue.
Gonzaga hasn't shot this game. They have a good defense, and it's really about the guard play. Like it's I think his name Nolan. Is Nolan Hickman going to show up and play well? I mean, his jump shot going to be falling. Is he going to be able to get to the basket in between? His pace, is he going to be able to do that? Is Nembhard going to be able to get to the bucket like he is and get his buckets? I think they have the size and the length to deal with Zach Edey. They do. So I think Purdue is on upset watch this game, and I think they have a chance to beat them. But I'm going to go Purdue as well. I think stopping Edey is way harder than it seems. Obviously, clearly, and the guard play has been much improved this year. That was knocked on them last year. The guard play wasn't great, but Braden Smith has got a lot better, and so they've been playing well so far in the tournament. But I'm gonna go Purdue, but I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle with it because I think Gonzaga can't beat them, but Gonzaga just hasn't been good enough for the entire year. That's their issue. They just been like inconsistent. They didn't even win their conference, which is really like they always win their conference. They
like you like you said, Purdue got a good side of the bracket. That's what this is. They got a good side of the bracket. Like I don't think it's anything other than that, to be honest.
Let's talk last matchup: Creighton versus Tennessee. Now, this is gonna be one of the better games. Would you agree with that, Max? This is gonna be a great game. I feel like personally.
I think this is my game. This is my game of the Sweet 16. I think this is the best game of the Sweet 16. Easy. Two super high-powered offenses can play defense, but super high-powered offenses.
Tennessee's an elite offense. elite defense.
I'm just saying, Creighton's not. So like,
nah.
I'm looking at the offensive game. Both teams can score, have multiple scorers. I think it'll be high scoring.
Man, Trigger Trey, but it's Tennessee. Tennessee wins. As much as I like Trey, I love Dalton more, but I like Dalton from what I like. From what I see, like last 20 games leading up to now, like he got better with the 3 ball. I think he had like 40 like in like the quarterfinals. Like he's been going crazy. Every time you look up, he got 25 here, 4 threes, 5 threes. Like he's doing his thing. And like you said, it's too high power offense, but Tennessee's a much better defensive team. They're one of probably a top 10 team this year, like all around. So this should be the pick. Tennessee, I've seen they're probably on a lot of people's Final Fours, and I think it's possible. They just got to make it out of this one, and I think they can make it out of this one. Not convincing, but they probably squeak by, but that's good enough. A win's a win.
I think whatever team wins this, I hope they beat Purdue, and I think they will. I think this is a fight for who's going to be in the Final Four. I've loved Dalton Connect since he played at MSU earlier on this year. That's when I first got introduced to him. Saw the kind of scoring he could do. He posterized Malik Hall. He's had an insane game in an exhibition game. he's been playing out of his mind all year. I don't know why though. Creighton just feels like a little bit of a team of destiny right now. Creighton just in that Oregon game, I don't think they should have even won that game. I think Oregon should have won that, but somehow it got out and they were able to run away with it. So, as far as starting five, I guess barring foul trouble, guards and bigs, you have Shireman, you have Trey, you have Kalkbrenner. They just have everything on their starting five. And I mean, I think you have elite guard play at Tennessee, obviously, but I need to see Vescovy, or I need to see Zakai Ziegler step up a little bit more in this game and take the pressure a little bit off Dalton Connect. So I guess if they can do that, great. But I think Kalkbrenner is going to run away with this. I think he'll have a great game. Give me Creighton.
I'm picking Creighton. I'm picking Creighton too. I think Tennessee is too reliant on Dalton Connect, and obviously they're one of the best offenses in the team, in the league, in the country, and then they're top 7 in defensive efficiency as well. But I just personally feel like they just too reliant on Dalton Connect, and if they could take him out of the game, which is going to be a tall task for Creighton. But I think, again, we talk about guard play in this tournament, and Creighton has the better guard play than me. Like, from a collective standpoint, obviously Dalton Connect is player of the year finalist, one of the best guards in the entire country. But I feel like Creighton will win this game. I think Creighton will go to the Final Four because I think they will be Purdue. So I have Creighton in my Final Four as of right now. It's been switching a lot, but I think Creighton can beat Tennessee and Purdue. So that's what I got. All right. It's a lot. We like to wind down these episodes with some trivia, and I have some trivia. So it's going to be college trivia, but it's still going to be, NBA involved in it. Let me get this on the screen. I had to take it off because I didn't want y'all to see it early because let me see. All right. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Who is this person? All right. Before I say anything, let me introduce the topic. Okay. Let me take it off. All right. So I'm gonna have you guys guess the team by the colleges their starting lineup played at. That makes I don't hopefully it makes sense. Guess the team by the colleges their starting lineup played at. Okay. All right. First I'm gonna go with Max. Max, guess the team based on where their starting lineup played at college.
Washington Wizards.
I just can't, bro.
It's the easy one.
It's gonna be too hard. I just can't, bro.
No, why'd I get this? To be honest, I did not want the Michigan State one because I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. This is easy for one reason. Who's the one player I know here?
Probably Kyle Kuzma.
Rashawn Holmes. Rashawn Holmes is the only player who went to Bowling Green State University in the league currently. That was an easy give me. You got Rashawn Holmes, you got Kyle Kuzma. Shooting guard, you got Jordan Poole. Point guard, you got Tyus Jones. Small forward, you got Denny Avdia.
Yeah.
Rashawn Holmes, I forgot he was even on the Wizards, but I saw the clip of him, last night? Alex Caruso pushed him. Right? You see that? The fight? That literally popped up my timeline before this, and I remember Rashawn Holmes on that team. Rashawn Holmes is the only person to go to Bowling Green currently in the league, I think.
I don't know, bro. The college ones, I stopped doing them because we were doing the college ones earlier because they're just too easy for y'all, bro. That's why I hate doing the college ones. But Q, guess the team based on where their starting lineup went to college.
Now I know this one.
This whatchamacallit, Orlando.
Right? Orlando Magic.
This is Orlando
Magic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, well, I'm not getting this. Like, it should have canned me or the rip, but like Gonzaga point guard, I'm like, all right, this sucks. But I'm like, who's shooting guard? Who plays shooting guard for Orlando? Because I ain't know
Gary Harris
for Orlando. But I'm like, all right, yeah, where you feel me?
Gary Harris,
Duke power forward. It's only like two of those in the league right now. So it was like, all right, I could just make this little.
I got the MSU Gary Harris jersey.
Yeah, the point guard is Jalen Suggs. The shooting guard is Gary Harris. The small forward is Franz Wagner.
Franz.
The power forward, Paolo, and center is Wendell Carter Jr.
And that's crazy. I forgot Wendell went to Duke, but then I remember like it hit my mind because I remember he came out with Jaren Jackson. I was saying like Wendell's better than Jaren Jackson, and that's only because I was watching heavy Duke back then.
All right, man.
You know
That's
JJJ is better. Stop.
I guess maybe.
What are we talking about? That's
we go right now,
gross.
or
That's gross.
right now when they were coming out.
That's gross.
When they was coming out, I thought Wendell was better.
Give me JJJ for both.
Yeah, I think Triple J was better.
I don't know. I liked Wendell Carter more coming out. He was already able to shoot.
JJJ was dominant defensively in college.
I think Triple J was able to shoot too. Triple J was able to shoot too.
Not like Wendell.
Triple J was dominant defensively in college. He was
elite defensively in college.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Now he not.
Not elite defensively? Damn. What's Wendell doing?
On a playoff team?
I mean, Triple J can't rebound, bro. It's ridiculous. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game.
JJJ was the 2 seed last year. What are we talking about?
No. He wasn't the 2 seed last year. Let's relax.
All right, that's gonna do it for the episode 81. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on our social media accounts. We try to hit 600 followers, but that's not really the goal. The goal is really 1,000, and we're gonna get there sooner rather than later. So make sure you guys keep supporting and watching our videos, and we are out.